This is an historical event, opportunity of a lifetime that we put together here in Louisville, Kentucky with Fraser Museum, enslaved, and of course Hannah Drake and Roots 101. Roots 101 belongs to all of us. There's a 10 I always say. I say Roots 101 and you say our house. Roots 101. Roots 101. Roots 101. Welcome to our house.
You're going to grab you a drum and you sing, because they're going to hear us as we come through the place, all right?
Why are you beset with gloom?
What a wonderful way to start the dedication of the Unknown Project. First of all, thank you all so much for coming today. So give yourselves a hand clap. Thank you for coming today. I have been envisioning this for years because I just couldn't, it didn't sit right with me that somebody could be in the world and be labeled as unknown. Their parents gave them a name, and their name was stolen from them. And this was just our way of exhuming their bodies and their stories and telling the people their names. The names on these benches and on this platform are people that were enslaved in Kentucky. So I met a man named James in Paducah. And I start telling him about this Unknown Project. And James is a white man. And James said, "Oh, it sounds interesting." And he emailed me and he said, "I can no longer conceal the truth. My family enslaved black people. And would you like their names?" And their names were not given before. And I said, "I do want their names." Because this was my way of showing Kentucky those people. And when he sent me the names, those names are etched on this bench. And if your family has enslaved black people, then it is time for you to release the names. Those names are not your names. Those names belong to the black people that were enslaved, that didn't have the opportunity to have their own names because their names were stolen from them. So if you have them, release them. And I will add this, there is no shame in that because you didn't do it. The shame is hiding the truth.
Hannah and I have been able to travel to Senegal, West Africa, and do work together in Natchez, Mississippi, as well as here in Louisville. And this project, Unknown Project, this installation, bringing forth the names and the stories, working together over the next few years and with the Fraser and Roots 101 and Louisville Metro and so many partners that we are going to thank in a moment. One of the things that has been such a surprise from the process is how much we really didn't even know and how much immediately started coming out. She mentioned the people that reached out with names. We had someone come forward with a will and photos and a ledger that was on a family bookcase with 50 names and birth dates. And it's telling a different, more full story, and that's what the project is for. So I'm grateful and I'm honored that you're all here and that I get to participate in this. And we want to thank, well, first, this is the dedication for On the Banks of Freedom, and it's the first public art installation for Unknown Project. So we have more things to come down the road, and we're really excited that you all are here participating with us for this first piece. So we want to thank, I mentioned, our lead partners, Roots 101, the Fraser Museum, and Louisville Metro Government. They've been on this journey with us for almost 2 years. This has been a tremendous collaboration, and we're really, really thankful for that. We want to thank our collaborators, including artists William M. Duffy and Dave Cottle, Sydney Monroe Williams, the Belle of Louisville, Stoneworks Lettering and Design, and Rocker Built Studio, Justice Now, Mud Management, who created the platform that I'm standing on right now, and Universal Woods for donating the sign for the project. This has been a community collaboration. So the artists, our team, the organizations have done outreach along all facets of the project so far and will continue to. And we want to thank a few community members specifically, Umar Lucille Allen, Malik Barker, Nigel Blackburn, Brianna Wright, Ed Hamilton, and Jalen Stewart. who contributed their time and or their footprints to the project. So the footprints that you see on this installation are from community members here in Louisville. This type of project makes an impact, and we want people to know that you should invest in projects like this moving forward in Louisville and beyond Louisville.
Thank you, Mellon Foundation, Justin, and your team for believing in the project. A lot of funders told us that this project was too big. But if you're going to dream, why not dream big? Our ancestors here had to escape across that river. They did the impossible. Because I want y'all to know some of our people made it. Some of our people made it across that river. Some of our people made it to freedom. Don't you tell me what's too big for me. I stand on the shoulders of everybody on these benches. Don't you tell me what's too ambitious. You ain't met Hannah Drake. You ain't met Josh Miller. Don't tell me what's too ambitious.
First of all, the Louisville community thanks Mayor Fisher for signing an executive order recognizing June 19th as an official holiday for Louisville Metro government. Also, thanks for creating the Juneteenth Jubilee Celebration Commission. And we cannot forget to thank Sarah Lindham, Public Art Administrator. Second, I want to thank Hannah Drake and Josh Miller, Ideals Lab, using my footprint as part of this unknown project. Third, thanks to Lamont Collins, Roots 101, for helping to make this day a day to celebrate and to remember. Fourth, we thank William Duffy and Dave Cardell for creating the benches. Fifth but not last, we want to thank all of our sponsors. I especially thank Brown Forman, where I worked for 31 years, and Republic Bank, where Valerie Roberts Allen, my daughter-in-law works. Thanks for being here today to celebrate with us.
As I stand here looking across the river and thinking, if I want to be free, I know I've got to get across this river. How many of our ancestors had to make that decision just to be free? How lucky are those of our generation that this is not a decision that we have to make anymore. My thanks go out to Hannah Drake and Josh Miller of Ideals X Lab for spearheading this project and seeing it to its fruition. It will no longer be unknown. Thanks to our jury team in selecting who I consider not only two of the greatest artists and sculptors in Louisville, Kentucky and the surrounding territories, but two of the finest and humble human beings in this town. And I'm proud to call them my friends. I have known these two guys for years, and what they have designed together will stand the test of time. It is through public art that we defined our society. Art gives us diversity. Art is inclusive, and it makes you think. Art has the power to heal us as a nation. There's truly an artistic renaissance taking place in our city. It is evidenced by the public art of powerful murals all over town. The artists have left their voices to be heard through their paintings. Yes, Lord, the healing power of art is evident in Louisville. Let us not forget the past. Remember, if we don't know our past, how can we know our future? God bless this day. God bless this space. And may God bless our newest museum, Roots 101. The chairman of the board and director, Lamont Collins, tells the stories of our people elegantly. With people like Lamont, our children will have a chance to know their past and gain the knowledge necessary to grow and confront the truths or the untruths. May this new site become a place of reflection for all of Louisvillians and citizens. As you sit here on these benches and you look down on the footprints that walk you toward the river, think to yourself, my God, that could have been you or me trying to get to the land of freedom. All they knew was, if I can just get across this here river, I knows I'm gonna be free. So feel the spirit. Hear the ancestors calling out to thank you for remembering them, because we finally made it. And you know what? The struggles of civil rights continues. May God bless you. May God bless this site, and peace to all of you.
When I started this museum, a lot of people said it couldn't happen. But me and Hannah would talk, me and Ed Hamilton would talk, and they would tell me, Lamont, stay the course. All I ever wanted to do was tell our story 365 days a year. Our children deserve that. Tell the story that they're descendants of kings and queens that were enslaved in America. Tell them that they're more than what America's telling them on a daily basis. It's an honor to be here. 62-year-old, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and I sit here and see my name on this bench. Nothing but God. Nothing but God. Our kids today need so much encouragement in a world that tears them apart. But when they come in Route 101, I say it's our house. It's a house that we can be unapologetic to be black, where we can look for excellence in everything we do and also demand accountability and responsibility in our community at the same time. Thank you for supporting Route 101. We will be here for this community. I always say we're more than a museum. If you look on Facebook, it's not anything we don't have at Route 101. We go from Zumba to prayer practice, right? Because we know that's what Big Mama will want us to do, is take care of each other.
They literally wrote this in one day, and not even 24 hours. It might have been, when they started writing, about an hour. And I was highly impressed. So this is Justice Now with Matthew Kaufman and Nyree Taylor. And I asked them, well, what's free? Tell me what free is, because are you really free, or are you free what? Yes.
The 13th Amendment provides that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Sometimes I remember that I am not free in my own body, that I cannot walk down the street freely, I cannot call for help without fearing my life, cannot walk into places that were not made for me. I remember that this world was not designed for me. This world was not designed for me.
Every time I rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated.
This should have been over in 1863. They coming for our people, you and me, but us black kings and queens, yeah, we gonna break through. They wanna take our rights, but keep our culture in our shoes. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken and incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken and incarcerated.
Freedom of justice, they won't let us be. Vote for our people. We should not be
Treated badly. You got it.
treated badly.
Yeah! Come on.
Freedom of justice, they won't speak for us.
You all right?
Freedom of justice, they won't let us speak for our community.
Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They ever see us broken or incarcerated. What's free? Not erasing our identity. Our culture, they misappropriate like vultures. Red line and police brutality. Under these conditions, are we really free? Whitewash our history. They say we live in jungle trees. We are not the monkeys, we are black royalty. Trying to size us with discrimination. They say hating. I rise, you rise, we rise. Don't you see the power in my eyes? Third eye open, we are not blind. They tell us that we playing with our minds.
Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. What's free? Free is when red lighting doesn't exist. It's where we don't ever have to raise our fists. It's where the police don't lie and say we resist. And then the judges see our name on the list. It's the lying and the dying that keeps our mamas up and late crying. See me spying on the horrifying things that send my people up to heaven without justifying. They said the Emancipation Proclamation sent us further greater, and then released a 13 minutes 2 years later. As Hannah Drake loves to say, rather see us broken or incarcerated. What's free? Free is when I'm being me. When anybody can do anything. When no one debating the real of the races. They killing our people, the police. They don't see us as equal, but what do? We gotta fight back. Let's end this system because it's whack.
My skin is popping like a fire on the 4th of July. On the 4th was a day white men tried to lie. Say we have freedom, but is it getting punished for hate crime? My black sisters and brothers is crying because their loved one ain't making home before 9. Y'all keep saying we try, but how is that? It blasts keep steadily dying. That gunshot for our Kibriana. Y'all, we are not going to start marching to her like dishonored. Y'all going under.
Like saying, this is how we are treated by the white man. They make us think that being black is a curse, but then we end up in a hearse. My black brothers and sisters are being shot down every day. My black brothers and sisters are being shot down every day. Lynching still happens. Are we slaves?
Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated.
Tell me what's free. Trying to take my identity away from me. I know I'm a 10, but you said that I'm a 3. Even if it's curly or straight, y'all still discriminate and hate me. But I almost forgot, no matter what, I'm still hot. Rocking my hair, cause I really don't care. But funny thing is, you say what you say, and you still look culture appropriate. Wearing reason braids, but you still hate me. Say I'm ghetto, but my hair still says hello, love and curls, cause they're part of my pride. Something that you try to tell me at half, but I said bye. Ain't wearing a cap, cause that's a part of your child. So Halloween ain't playing that. I said what I said, I'ma do what I do. I'm gonna be me, and you gonna be you. What? Every time we rise up a level, they want us to be unknowns, but we're a living legacy. They say we're free, how can that be? Slavery, segregation, mass incarceration. Do you see what I see? Never free, in a world full of hate, we were the bait. They want us to be unknowns, but you came and took us from our home, stripping us of what we own. We are the key, we're what everyone wants to be. For centuries, you stole something rich, turned us into bad guys because you'll never snitch. You're not only to blame, my own people make it rain for the ones who once despised them, but with money, it's like they're your own kin. The chains were never broken, but tightened, yet our anchor roots are stronger. Focus on the truth and you'll be enlightened. 1863 should have been the end, but instead it turned into fuel. 113 more years of using our people to the benefit of themselves. Are you that incapable of working for your own wealth? What a state that you all look at as great, yet those extra 13 years, those overcrowded boats of slaves happened here, right over there. I stand on the grounds where my people were pushed around, where they slaved in the hot sun because white people wanted to have fun. You used my people, and now I'm using you as a guideline to tell the truth. See, you want us, you want me to be unknowns, but I am a living legacy. My people suffer so I can stand strong and tell you about all the wrong. I do this for myself. I do this for the unknowns.
Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They'd rather see us broken or incarcerated. Read that Willie Lynch piece. He traveled to the States to teach slave owner how to rob their slaves to make them wicked. Other ways to emasculate, manipulate, and castrate. Then you click they will break them down from at the feet of anti-black man, friends of freedom. Take us down and tie those feet. Make them hate himself and anybody else that looks like me. Make them hate his hair, lips, and skin. Make them hate his nose. Make them only care about shoes, cuts, and gloves. Get this for him to love light skin and how to hate himself. And if you kids are reading books, take his thoughts, they must say close. Education is the key to power for itself. If he is not educated, then you just take all his wealth. Shatter the killing must cease. If there's no justice, then there can't be peace. Black lives matter. The killing must cease. If there's no justice, then there can't be peace. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated. Every time we rise up a level, they hate it. They rather see us broken or incarcerated.
Y'all give it up for them kids. When you invest in kids, this is what you get.
Good
afternoon. I'm Rachel Platt with the Fraser History Museum, and I cannot tell you what an honor it is. Really. Lamont, you cried first. I've been crying over there all afternoon, so cry with me, because this is a really proud moment for this entire community. Two of my colleagues are with me today, LaPrecious Brewer and Lana Verslis. I wanted to make sure I mentioned them. When I started at the Fraser 2 years ago, the education staff said to me, "You have to read a book. I have a home in Gloryland." It was the story of an enslaved couple, Thornton and Lucy Blackburn, who just down the river back in the day with forged papers crossed this very river, ended up catching a boat up to Cincinnati, into Detroit, and Toronto, where they found their freedom. It was an archaeologist in Toronto that started uncovering the remnants of their life. She's the author of that book, I've Got a Home in Gloryland. I had never heard the story of courage and resilience of the Blackburns. That is when I reached out to Hannah Drake, because I knew her and I knew the work she was doing. And I said, "Can we please talk?" And that is how the Fraser got involved in this process. How this river is a dividing line. And as Lamont said, and Ed Hamilton, thinking back in the day when you looked across the river, can you imagine knowing enslaved here, freedom just across the river? At the Fraser History Museum, it is our duty to tell a fuller story and to amplify voices like these who have been forgotten, whose stories haven't been told. And we are honored to hold up the mirror, because until we do that, there cannot be a reckoning, and we cannot bridge any divides. We have tickets to the Fraser at the end. If you need a potty break, you need to cool off, please visit today. If you can't visit today, please visit another time. My learning continues. This white hair and my age, I continue to learn each and every day, and I can't tell you how much I've learned from these wonderful partners. We are in good hands with the artists who did this project. We had a program this week where William Duffy said, "We are building this from the ground up, and we all have a hand in what it becomes." And I believe there are no truer words than those.
As you enter the platform, which was poured by Mud Management, and they're here, thank you. You have Hannah Drake's poem, Finding Me. Elmer Lucille talked about the footprints. So we had 4 individuals contribute their footprints, and they are sandblasted facing Indiana towards freedom. So you can actually come, stand, and look across. Each footprint is paired with the name of an enslaved person that was brought forward through the project, except for one, which is titled Unknown.
I honestly don't know where to start, but I do greet you in the name of God, and just thank you for, thank each and every one of you for your concern and your showing up to this momentous occasion. I'm going to read because I'm really nervous about this. I've been in the arts one way or another for over 50 years. I've been in art exhibits, art fairs, art competitions, art meetings, art judgings, art discussions, art demonstrations, art walks and talks, etc., etc. But this display is one of the most rewarding of my career, as well as one of the first, if not the first collaboration with another artist. I want to thank Hannah Drake and Josh Miller, Ideas Lab, and the judges for selecting me, and my friend Dave Cardell for choosing me for this opportunity. The creative process is sometimes hard to figure out. In visual arts, ideas may come in an instant, and other times you can't see the forest for the trees. The benches are in remembrance of our stories and our struggle to have the audacity to lean into that hurricane of racism and push to a place where the pilgrims of our destiny. We've always known who we are, and although it's taken centuries to tell one side of the stories in our own words, there is no time like the present. So here we give you a little bit of that start of our narrative.
I don't think I could say one word that's more eloquent than everything that everybody else has already said. To to tell you a little bit about the bench design is to simply take a look at the different elements and how they work together. The rugged textures that you see are meant to evoke the tough lives that these people led, both before they were free and the courage that it took to get them free. I tell you what, I don't know that I could do that, to stand there and figure that I'm going to make it all the way to Canada to get free, and I got to cross that river. My hat's off to every one of those people. The chain at the bottom of the benches are coupled with a broken shackle to indicate the escape, to symbolize it. So I hope that you all enjoy the chance to come down here and just sit and think about what happened and what needs to happen. It has been a real honor for me as well. This has been my buddy for a long time.
1971.
Are we that old?
Yeah, and then some.
I think it has been a real privilege to work with Josh and Hannah and all the other folks who have been involved with this project. It's an opportunity to show the world that two hearts can come together.
That's right. That's right.
That we can be community. We can be one race. We can have the spirit of peace in our hearts and spread it. And I hope each one of you will take that with you today.
What you're looking at here is two old art schoolers. Dave was actually a couple of years ahead of me in art school. I've told this story 100 times, and Dave looks at me like he still doesn't remember. But one of the, being an underclassman, the upperclassmen did not really speak or reach out. You have to understand, I come from a predominantly black area. The art school that I attended was in a mostly, if not all, white area in Anchorage, Kentucky. So when I reached the school, and I look around, there were only about 4 or 5 black students there. One of them came from the same high school as me. So I didn't know who to really turn to. But here comes this skinny white guy. He walks up to me and he goes, "Hi, I'm Dave." And I don't know if any of you all out here really know Dave, but he has the wildest laugh that I've ever heard. And he walks up to me with his hand extended, and he goes, "Hi there, I'm Dave Cardell. Welcome to Louisville School of Art. Good to meet you, and what is your name?" And it's been a friendship from then on. So, thanks, Dave.
Thank you for being my friend.
I am filled with hope and with joy today. I wanted to start with an acknowledgement that we are standing on the banks of freedom, with reverence for the known and unknown men, women, and children who were enslaved. They were here seeking the river and seeking freedom, and we're standing in their footprints. No matter who we are, no matter where we came from today, we each know the challenges that are facing our city. We feel divided. Our lines of communication are broken. They're interrupted. We're talking past one another, over one another. We have an incomplete historical narrative that does not acknowledge the truths of our shared past. But the Unknown Project and all of the beautiful performers that we saw today
They demonstrate what can happen when artists lead, when they lead us. Artistic vision is a powerful magic. We see, we hear, we're transformed, we're transported. It is the most powerful tool that we have that can help us learn, feel, understand an idea or an experience of another human being. Today, all of you artists have proven once again that we have to empower artists to lead the healing that our community needs. My congratulations, my applause goes to Hannah, to you, to Josh, to Duffy and Dave and Rachel and Lamont and all of the people that made this happen. A lot of people played a role in this project. This is what collaboration, true collaboration looks like. Thank you. Thank you for your vision, for your resolve. Thank you for bringing Unknown Project to life. Thank you for their stories, for Eve and so many others. Thank you for your words, Hannah, finding me in this place to honor those who are waiting to be found. I am so grateful to be here with you today and to accept On the Banks of Freedom for our community and as an addition to our public art collection in Louisville.
So I'm going to read Finding Me. If I close my eyes, I can see them. And if I quiet myself, I can hear them. Their voices carry on the wind like the tune from chimes floating in the distant breeze. Who are you? And where did you come from? When you dreamed, what did you dream of? What is your story? What was your name before they gave you that name? Was the name passed down through our family? Am I your descendant? I stare at my face and wonder if I look like you. I try to put faces to shadows. Can I find pieces of your memory hidden in cotton fields and red mud? Scattered bones in unmarked graves that attempted to erase you from history, but you were here. You were always here. You existed. Unknown no longer. I found your name. I found you. And in finding you, I found me. Thank you.